Oh boy, buckle up for this cinematic masterpiece. Attack of the Killer Sand, or as I like to call it, the beach party gone wrong, a sandy tale of woe and WTFs. So, it all kicks off with a bunch of youngsters at the beach, throwing the kind of party that makes you wonder if they've ever seen a horror movie. You've got your standard beach party fare. Dancing, making out, the whole shebang. Enter Mitch, our resident party pooper, who's like, "Hey guys, let's put our phones in a bag because privacy is cool." Little do they know, their biggest problem isn't going to be embarrassing photos. Then, here come Vance and Gilbert, the dynamic duo, with a gooey ball of mystery they found in the water. Because picking up unidentified slimy things is always a great idea, right? Everyone's grossed out, but hey, it's just beach goo, nothing to see here. Cut to the next morning, and surprise, everyone's passed out. Kaylee wakes up with Mitch, while their friends are crammed in a car nearby. Kaylee's enjoying her morning beach stroll, when suddenly, plot twist, a bird tries to fly, but instead does a nosedive into the sand. Kaylee's like, "Guys, don't touch the sand, it's evil." But it's too late for Marcia, who's doing her best impression of a naked ostrich, stuck headfirst in the sand. Vance, ever the hero, tries to save her, but also gets a one-way ticket to Sandyville. R.I.P. Marcia and Vance, we hardly knew you. And just when you think it can't get any weirder, the sand starts pulling Vance apart like mozzarella cheese. Delicious. Now they're all freaking out, realizing their phones are trapped in the car, and, oh, the car's dead too. Great planning, team. Kaylee, doing her best Sherlock Holmes impression, notices these creepy white strings under the sand. Meanwhile, Gilbert wakes up in a trash can, because where else would you end up after a beach party? And he's like, "What did I miss?" Oh, Gilbert, if only you knew. There's some drama with Kaylee, Mitch, and Jonah, because who doesn't love a love triangle when you're trapped on killer sand? Shonda's trying to play Cupid, but really, who cares about romance when you're about to be devoured by sand? Hours tick by, and surprise, no one's coming to save them. Kaylee's handing out sunscreen like it's the apocalypse, and Gilbert's about to pass out from heat and confusion. They finally realize that the sand has claimed all the other partygoers. It's like a day at the beach, but with more death and less sunbathing. So there's Kaylee, playing detective again. She spots the blob from last night and, surprise, it's hatched. Because why wouldn't it be an egg for a sand-eating monster, obviously? They deduce that this creature is the sand's version of a Pac-Man, munching on humans. And since it's a newbie, it's gotta be tiny, right? Kaylee's master plan? Throw sausages to measure the monster. Because sausages are the universal measuring tool for sand monsters. Duh. Meanwhile, Gilbert's having a meltdown because he saw a bird get a one-way ticket to the sand's stomach. "Welcome to the party, Gilbert." The others are like, "Stop wasting our gourmet sausage buffet, Kaylee." But she's on a mission. The last sausage remains uneaten, and everyone throws a mini beach party. Yay, there's hope. Now here comes Jonah with his big brain time. Surfboards. He's like a beach MacGyver. He gingerly steps onto the sand on a surfboard, and voila, he's floating. But then, the surfboard has a mind of its own. Plot twist. The sand's got strings, and they're hungry. Jonah almost becomes a snack but saves himself, though his stomach's seen better days. Jonah, now playing beach Santa Claus, finds a bag of goodies. But whoops, drops a banana. Surprise, the banana's safe because it's on last night's bonfire spot. Jonah's stomach, meanwhile, is turning into a horror show. There's pus, there's pain, it's a whole medical drama. He's handing out sodas and water like they're at a picnic, except he's whimpering in pain. Talk about multitasking. His stomach is getting worse, and he's like, "This is fine," while lying on a bench. Back to Kaylee, still playing detective, notices the sand strings are now checking out the car tires. The sand monster's in growth spurt mode. The group's realizing they're running out of time before the creature turns their car into an all-you-can-eat buffet. Shonda and Ronnie have a bright idea to get the phones. Ronnie's ready to risk it all. But first, she's like, "Shonda, give this diary to my mom, okay? Just in case she doesn't make it." Oh, the drama. But Kaylee's the voice of reason. "Nope, don't open the trunk, you'll end up as sand food." So, Kaylee, playing the role of makeshift MacGyver, hands Ronnie a rescue hook. Because when you're trapped on a beach with a sand monster, obviously a hook is the solution. Ronnie opens the trunk, but then, plot twist, a car honks. And Ronnie, in a state of sheer panic, slams the trunk shut on her fingers. Cue the dramatic cries of pain. Enter our hero of the hour, a beach patrol officer who's convinced this is a beachside production of High Schoolers on Drugs, the musical. Kaylee's like, "Stay in your car, dude." But nope. Officer Beach Patrol steps out and gasp, walks on the sand. Thanks to his magic shoes, the sand strings are like, nah, not tasty. The officer, clearly not a fan of gory movies, sees Jonah and his pus-filled stomach drama and is like, "You, drugs." He totally ignores Jonah's cries for help. Kaylee tries to explain, but Officer Beach Patrol thinks they're just reckless teens. He threatens them with pepper spray because that's the logical response to sand monsters, right? But wait, there's more. Officer Clumsy drops his keys onto the sand and gets stuck trying to pick them up. Suddenly, it's an aha moment for him. Kaylee's like, "Use the pepper spray." It works, sort of. He frees his hand, but at a cost. Bye-bye, arm. The sand strings then decide it's lunchtime and whoosh, down goes the officer. Now Kaylee's got the pepper spray. Meanwhile, Mitch's bright idea is to wrap towels around his feet and run across the sand, because towels are known for their monster-repelling properties. He tries to catch a towel, but oh no. The railing breaks, and Mitch becomes a sand snack. Kaylee's had enough of this creature's nonsense. She spots the broken railing and goes, "Aha! DIY bridge!" She breaks off a piece, hands it to Chanda, and somehow leaps onto the car. First order of business? Punch Chanda in the face for sleeping with her boyfriend. Priorities. Meanwhile, Jonah, ever the romantic, confesses his love to Kaylee from his bench of pain. Kaylee's like, "Cool story, bro. Now about that plan." She wants to use the railing to build a bridge to Jonah, and then caravan everyone to Officer Beach Patrol's car. Chanda turns into a tightrope walker with the railing. She manages to get to Jonah, and Kaylee follows suit. Just when you think things can't get more dramatic, here comes Ronnie, probably still whimpering about her fingers. So, Ronnie's trying to be a hero, but oops, her injured hand becomes a snack for the sand strings. Kaylee, armed with her trusty pepper spray, because who needs a sword when you have pepper spray, tries to save her. Spoiler alert, it doesn't work. Ronnie gets an express ticket to Sandville. Meanwhile, Chanda, in a moment of DIY brilliance, wraps her feet with a towel and a bag, because when you're facing a sand monster, fashion goes out the window. She dashes to the car and voila, she's safe. Cue Gilbert's cheer, but wait, his trash can is now a death trap. The creature, clearly not a fan of recycling, decides it's Gilbert's turn. His bin becomes a blender, and Gilbert's making blood smoothies. Yikes. Chanda's next on the creature's hit list. The car shakes, she falls, and it's lights out for Chanda. Fast forward a few hours, and it's night. Chanda wakes up, probably wondering if she's still in a horror movie. Spoiler, she is. Kaylee and Jonah are still bench warming, while Chanda finds a raft. Because obviously there's a raft on top of a patrol car. They all get on the raft and make it to the car, but not so fast. A massive, glowing tentacle decides it's Kaylee's turn. The creature's like, "I'm not just a sand monster. I'm a tentacle monster too." Kaylee, in a stroke of genius, finds a gas can and goes all action hero, lighting the tentacle on fire. She jumps into the car, but oh no, Jonah's kicked the bucket. Cue the tears and the hugging as Kaylee and Chanda mourn their beach party gone wrong. Fast forward to the next morning, and there's a knock on the car window. It's just your average Joe, wondering why two girls are having a sleepover in a car surrounded by sand. The monster's gone, and the beach is safe again. Kaylee and Chanda, now besties bonded by trauma, walk across the sand as Joe calls an ambulance. But wait, there's a twist. Our final shot reveals the monster is actually a giant jellyfish, and it's off to Santa Monica Pier. Because why terrorize one beach when you can terrorize them all?